අද්විතීය 200 Mbps ස්පීඩ් එකකින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ වේගවත්ම සහ පුළුල්තම හෝම් බ්‍රෝඩ්බෑන්ඩ් සම්බන්ධතාවය වන SLT මොබිටෙල් දේශීය ෆයිබර් බලවේගය ඔබත් අදම අත්විඳින්න.
හරිම සුදුයි.
Tonight on First at 9, this Tuesday the 5th of September 2023. Channel 4 tonight. A promotional video of the Channel 4 documentary on the Easter attacks are out. Documentary to be aired tomorrow at 3:30 am Sri Lanka time. Major General Saleh vows legal action if his reputation is tarnished. Channel 4 inquiry. New committee will be established to inquire the Channel 4 revelations, reveals Minister of Labour in Parliament. New business. Sri Lanka to forge major deals in debt restructuring this month along with the IMF progress review.
ඔබේ විශ්වාසය දිනු සෙන්සුරයින් දැන් ළඟමැති ෆාමසියෙන් ලබාගත හැක. Rhino Cement Roofing Sheets. හොඳම මෙලට කල් පවතින වහරයක්.
This is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and a warm welcome to you from AdaDerana's English News First at 9. This is Jonathan Benedict. Let's take a look at our top story for this evening. Drama. Following the shocking revelation yesterday regarding the telecast of a whistleblower segment called Sri Lanka's Easter bombing dispatches. Based on information about alleged complicity by officials within the government, the program is set to air at 3 am Lankan time tonight. General Suresh Saleh, the chief incumbent of directed allegations, has meanwhile threatened legal action if defamatory statements are made about him or any alleged involvement by him in this conspiracy. More on this right now. According to the dramatic video of Channel 4's Sri Lanka's Easter bombings dispatches, a whistleblower named Hanzir Azad Maulana, who was the spokesperson of Sivanesature Chandrakantan, alias Pullayan-led Tamil Makkal Viduthalai Pulikkal, claims to have orchestrated a meeting in 2018 between senior military intelligence official Major General Suresh Saleh and Islamic State-affiliated bombers to hatch a plot to destabilize Sri Lanka. Maulana claims that Major General Suresh Saleh told him that the Rajapakshas needed an unsafe situation in Sri Lanka, adding that it was the only way for Gotabaya Rajapaksa to be elected as president. Ben DePere of Basement Films, which is the production company of the documentary on behalf of Channel 4, forwarded a letter to Major General Suresh Saleh on the 7th of August, outlining several allegations they plan to include about him, comprising the meeting that is said to have taken place in 2018 in a farm in Puttalam. In a response later dated 9th of August, Major General Suresh Saleh categorically denied these allegations, stating that he had no involvement whatsoever in the event mentioned in the letter forwarded by Basement Films. He stated that during the period which the alleged meeting is said to have occurred, he was serving as a minister counsellor at the Sri Lankan diplomatic mission in Malaysia, which can be readily verified with the Malaysian authorities. Denying his presence in Sri Lanka when the Easter Sunday attacks took place, Saleh stated that he was in India from January of 2019 to late November 2019 on a training program at the National Defence College, which can be readily verified with the Indian authorities. Further, he vowed to take legal action if the documentary airs any material connected to the Easter Sunday attacks, intentionally or unintentionally aimed at tarnishing his reputation without substantial evidence. Meanwhile, in a letter to Basement Films dated 11th of August, General Saleh's attorney ordered the company to cease and desist from issuing any malicious and defamatory statements, causing damage to his client and threatening his life and safety. Meanwhile, National Security Specialist Professor Rohan Gunaratna, who made a series of revelations about the Easter Sunday attacks, the attackers and their motives, responded to the documentary of Channel 4.
The Channel 4 documentary on the Easter attack is primarily based on the revelations of Asad Maulana. Asad Maulana is from a breakaway group of the terrorist group known as the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, called TMBP. And Asad Maulana has filed the asylum application. And based on that asylum application, I can share with you that it is a bogus asylum application. The main theme of the documentary is that there was a regime change operation. And the documentary speaks largely of this conspiracy theory. And there are many conspiracy theories about Easter Sunday attack. They say that the Indian intelligence service did the attack. They say the CIA did the attack. They say the Mossad did the attack. And they say the Sri Lankan security forces did the attack. But I want to tell you, based on both Sri Lankan and foreign investigations, the CID, the Criminal Investigations Department, based on the Counter-Terrorism Investigations Division, based on the Federal Bureau of Investigations of the United States, based on the Australian Federal Police investigation, based on the Interpol investigation, the Easter Sunday attack was perpetrated by Zahran Hashim, that emerged with the ideology of the Islamic State or ISIS. So they are all driven by the distortion of Islam, what you call the extreme religious interpretation. And I can also tell you that General Suresh Saleh, who is the current Director General of the State Intelligence Service, he was not in Sri Lanka in 2018. During the period, Asad Maulana says that General Saleh met with Zahran, the Islamic State branch leader in Sri Lanka. It can be very easily verified because General Saleh was in Malaysia. He was holding a diplomatic appointment in the Sri Lankan High Commission in Malaysia. The Malaysian authorities will verify, the Malaysian immigration will verify that General Saleh was in Kuala Lumpur. Not only that, after that, in December 2018, General Saleh went to India to follow the National Defence College course, and for that entire year he was in India, and the Indian authorities, the Indian immigration, the Indian Ministry of Defence, the Indian Home Ministry, Indian police can verify.
Meanwhile, in 2021, the Justice Department in the US charged 3 Sri Lankan citizens with terrorism offences, including conspiring to provide material support to the ISIS. In other news, foreign media reports state that Sri Lanka is expected to forge major deals in its debt restructuring this month, as the International Monetary Fund conducts the first review of its $3 billion loan program. A report by Bloomberg Media says that Sri Lanka is expected to finalize some of the major deals with the International Monetary Fund's Extended Fund Facility program, along with an IMF progress review due this month. Bloomberg, quoting Central Bank Governor Nandalal Weerasinghe in an investor forum today, said that legislators this week are likely to pass a bill amending tax laws, clearing a legal hurdle and allowing a domestic bond swap to be completed by mid-September. The governor also said that officials are expected to reach an agreement further on how to restructure its foreign debt also this month. A panel from the International Monetary Fund is expected to visit Colombo this month for the first review on Sri Lanka's IMF program that was approved in March earlier this year. The IMF team, who will visit Sri Lanka on the 14th of September, is expected to stay in Colombo till the 27th of September. The successful completion of the progress review will help Sri Lanka unlock the second tranche of the bailout package amounting to approximately $330 million. Meanwhile, Cabinet spokesperson Minister Bandula Gunawardena remarked that some of the implementations under the International Monetary Fund program have been delayed due to the actions of individuals that do not understand or appreciate the situation the country is in. Speaking at the Cabinet briefing today, Minister Gunawardena said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe has advised ministers to take actions to finalize the debt restructuring programs within the next 2 months, as court cases filed against the measures taking are reaching their final verdicts.
අලුත්ම තත්ත්වය තමයි මේ වන විට නිම වෙන්න තිබුණ තත්ත්වයක්. මේ රට ඉන්න ගිනිකන්දේ ස්වභාවය පිළිබඳ අබමල් රේණුවකවත් අවබෝධයක් නැතුව පෞද්ගලික පටු අරමුණු සඳහා යොමු වීම නිසා අධිකරණමය ක්‍රියාමාර්ග වලට ගිහිල්ලා සමහර කාලසටහන් වලට අනුව ඒ ගිවිසගත් වැඩසටහන ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න බැරි වෙලා තිබෙනවා. නමුත් අධිකරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයට දැනුම් දුන්නා. මේ මාසයේ ලබන මාසයේ අවසන් වන විට සැප්තැම්බර් ඔක්තෝබර් වන විට මේ ණය ප්‍රතිව්‍යුහගත කරන ක්‍රියාවලිය නිම කරගන්න අවශ්‍ය සියලු කටයුතු විශාල පාර්ශ්වයන් ප්‍රමාණයක් මහන්සි වෙනවා. දැන් සමහර අය මෙහි තියෙන සංකීර්ණතාවය පිළිබඳ අවබෝධයක් නැතුව තමන්ගේ හිතගියාව මත යම් යම් අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා. අපිට ජාතික වශයෙන් තියෙන විශාලතම අභියෝගය හා ගැටලුව තමයි මේ විදේශ වලට ගෙවන්න තියෙන ණය ටික ප්‍රතිසැකසුම් කරණය කර ගැනීම. එතෙක් මේ ණය ලැබෙන්නේ මං ඒ නිසා තමයි අපි කිව්වේ කවුරු ජනාධිපති ධූරයටපත් වුණා කවුරු අගමැති ධූරයටපත් වුණා කාගේ ආණ්ඩුවක් ආවත් මේ විදේශ ණය ටික ප්‍රතිව්‍යුහගතකරණය කරගන්නත් එක් ජාත්‍යන්තරයෙන් අපිට කිසිම පිළිසරණක් පිටක් ලැබෙන්නේ රටක් ආණ්ඩුව කරගෙන යන්න බෑ මාසයකට වඩා වැඩි කාලයක් මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ විසඳගත්තේ නැත්තම් ඒ කොටසක් ලෙස දේශීය ණය ප්‍රතිව්‍යුහගත කරන ක්‍රියාවලිය ඉවර වුණා ඒට අධිකරණමය ක්‍රියාමාර්ග නිම වුණාට පස්සේ අපිට බලාපොරොත්තු සියල්ල තියාගෙන තියෙන්නේ ලබන මාසයේ වන විට සැප්තැම්බර් ඔක්තෝබර් වන විට මේ සියල්ල අවසන් වෙලා රටට යහපත් කලක් උදා වෙයි කියලා.
While on the topic of cabinet decisions, the Cabinet of Ministers have granted approval by the Minister of Plantation Industries to instruct the legal draftsman to prepare a draft to amend the Export Agriculture Promotion Act. Speaking at the press briefing today, spokesperson Minister Bandulu Gunawardena said that the need has been identified to streamline the export process of agriculture-based goods, as the Ministry of Agriculture is taking various measures to differentiate products and markets by value-adding to increase export revenue. The minister said that one of the key issues that the country must address is the recurring current account deficit along with the budget deficit when solving the ongoing economic crisis.
මේ රටේ මේ ආර්ථික අර්බුදයට හේතු වෙච්ච ප්‍රධාන කරුණු දෙකයි. එකක් තමයි මේ රාජ්‍ය අයවැය පවතින අයවැය හිඟිය. දෙක තමයි ගෙවුම් ශේෂයේ ජංගම ගිණුම හිඟිය. මේ දෙක මිසක් පුද්ගලයෝ ආයතන සංවිධාන නිසා නෙමෙයි මේ රට කඩා වැටිලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක නිසා අපි අවුරුද්දකට තේ රබර් පොල් මැණික් අනික් භාණ්ඩ අපනයනය කළා. බිලියන 13ක් විතර උපයනවා. විශාල ලෙස ආනයනය සීමා කළයන් පස්සේ බිලියන 18ක ඇමරිකානු ඩොලර් ආනයනය කරනවා. ඉතින් අපිට ලැබෙන ආදායමෙන් භාණ්ඩ පිටරටින් ගේන්න බෑ. හැමදාම වෙළඳ ගිණුම හිඟියා. ඒ වෙළඳ ගිණුම හිඟිය පියව ගන්න බෑ විදේශ සංචාරකීපීන් හා විදේශ සේවා නියුක්තයි. ඒ නිසා හැමදාම ජංගම ගිණුම හිඟියා. 1977න් පස්සේ සියලුම අවුරුදු වල විදේශයන්ගෙන් ණයට ගෙනල්ලා තමයි අපි ජීවත් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ආහාර පාන, ඛනිජ තෙල්, පෝර රසායනික ද්‍රව්‍ය වගේ අතරමැදි භාණ්ඩ, යන්ත්‍ර සූත්‍ර උපකරණ වගේ අන්තර් භාණ්ඩ ඔක්කොම ගෙනල්ලා තියෙන ණයට. ඉතින් මේන් ගොඩ යාමක් ඇති වෙන්න නම් අපි කැමති වුණත් අකමැති වුණත් දේශපාලන වෙනසකින් මේ සඳහා උත්තරයක් හොයන්න බෑ. ආර්ථික උත්තරයක් හොයන්න ඕනේ. ආනයන සඳහා රටින් පිටට ගලා යන මුදල් ප්‍රමාණය අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ. අපනයන සඳහා රට ඇතුළට එන මුදල් ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් අපනයන සඳහා අපනයන භාණ්ඩ විවිධාංගීකරණය කරන්න. ඊළඟට වෙළඳපොළ විවිධාංගීකරණය කරන්න. භාණ්ඩ නවීකරණය කරන්න. එකතු කළාගේ වැඩි කරන්න සඳහා වැවිලි කර්මාන්ත අමාත්‍යාංශයේ විවිධ යෝජනා ඇති කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒවා ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම පහසු වීම සඳහා අපනයන කෘෂි කර්මාන්ත ප්‍රවර්ධන පනත සංශෝධනය කරන්න අනුමැතිය ලබා දුන්නා.
The minister also said that Cabinet gave approval to the amended Motor Vehicle Act, register electric three-wheels to be published in the Gazette for presentation to Parliament for approval.
මොකද අපි දන්නවා අපේ රටේ දීර්ඝ කාලයක් තිස්සේ පොසිල ඉන්ධන භාවිතයෙන් තමයි තිරෝධ රථ පමණක් නෙමෙයි බස් රථ වෑන් රථ සියල්ල ධාවනය වෙන්නේ. ලෝකේ මූලික ප්‍රතිපත්තියක් තියෙනවා. පරිසර පද්ධතිය ලෝක ප්‍රජාවට ආරක්ෂා කර ගැනීම සඳහා පොසිල ඉන්ධන භාවිතයෙන් ඉවත් වෙලා විද්‍යුත් ක්‍රමයට ඉලෙක්ට්‍රොනික ක්‍රමයට වෙනත් විකල්ප පරිසර හිතකාමී බලශක්තිවලට මාරුවීමේ අවශ්‍යතාවය ලෝකයේ පිළි අරන් තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා බොහෝ රටවල් නිශ්චිත සැලැස්මකට අනුව 2030 වන විට ප්‍රවාහන පද්ධතීන් හැකිතාක් දුරට විදුලි බලයෙන් ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන ඒවා බවට පත් කරන්න පරිශන කරනවා අත්අදා බැලීම් කරනවා නිෂ්පාදනය කරනවා. එවැනි විදුලි ත්‍රිරෝධ රථ ලංකාවේ ලියාපදිංචි කරන්න මෙතෙක් අනුමැතියක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. මේ වන විට ආයතන 11ක් 12ක් විතර විදුලි ත්‍රිරෝධ රථ විදුලි වාහන නිෂ්පාදනය ආරම්භ කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒවා ලියාපදිංචි කරන්න නම් මේ තියෙන පනත වෙනස් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ සඳහා පනතට සංශෝධන ඉදිරිපත් කළා අපි එය නීතිපතිතුමාට යවලා නීතිපතිතුමාගේ නිෂ්කාශන ලැබීමෙන් පසු මෙටික් ගැසට් පත්‍රය පළ කරනවා. ඒ ගැසට් නිවේදනය පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ අනුමැතියට ලක් කරනවා. ඒක ප්‍රමාණ ක්ෂේත්‍රයේ විප්ලවීය ඉදිරි පියවරක්.
Back to the topic of the Channel 4 drama, Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanayakkara revealed that a new inquiry will be launched into the recent allegations made by UK's Channel 4 pertaining to the 2019 Easter Sunday terror attacks. Addressing Parliament this morning, Nanayakkara said that a special parliamentary committee will be appointed for this purpose, adding that while the need for international assistance to investigate these accusations has been recognised, such measures too will be taken if required. Meanwhile, opposition leader Sajid Premadasa called for an international investigation to decide who the masterminds behind the Easter Sunday attacks were.
අපි රජයක් විදියට වගකීමෙන් කටයුතු කරනවා වගේම ඊයේ දිනේදී කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් තීන්දුව කළා මේ පිළිබඳව විශේෂ පාර්ලිමේන්තු තේරීම් කාරක සභාවක් පිළිබඳව දැනුවත් කිරීම ඉදිරියේදී කරයි. ඊට අමතරව ජාත්‍යන්තර වශයෙන් උත් අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා නම් ඒ සඳහා ඒ පරීක්ෂණ කටයුතු කරන්න රජයක් විදියට ඒ ඉල්ලීම අපි ඊයේ දවසේදී කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයේදී සාකච්ඡා කළා. මොකද ඒක ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීමට මේ රජය කිසිදු ආකාරයකින් පසුබට වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මම කියන්නේ මේ වීඩියෝ එකේ තියෙන කරුණු පිළිබඳව අපි අනිවාර්යෙන්ම අධ්‍යයනය කරන්න ඕනි. මේ පිළිබඳව මේ කියන වෙලාවේ මෙහෙම සාකච්ඡාවක් තිබිලා තියෙනවා. ඒ පිළිබඳව අපේ කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. හැබැයි
මේ පාස්කු ප්‍රහාරයට වගකිව යුතු මහමොලකරුවන් මම කියනවා මේ රටේ පරීක්ෂණ කරා විසඳන්න බෑ. මේකට ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් ඉන්වෙස්ටිගේෂන් එකක් අවශ්‍යයි.
චැනල් 4 කියන එක ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම ජිනීවා මානවිකයන් සැසිවාරය පටන් ගන්නවට කරන එක අපි දන්නවා 2011 දී ඔවුන් කළා ශ්‍රී ලංකන් කිලින් ෆීල්ඩ්ස් කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ 2012 දී වෝ ක්‍රයිම්ස් අන්පනිෂ් කියන එක ගෙනාවා. ඊට පස්සේ 2013 දී නෝ ෆයර් සෝන් ගෙනාවා. මේ සියලුම ඒවා ව්‍යාජ චිත්‍රපටවල රංගපෑම් කියන එක අපි ජෙනීවා ගිහිල්ලා ඊට පස්සේ මම පුද්ගලිකව ඒක සනාථ කළා. ඉතින් දැන් මේ පාස්කු ප්‍රහාරයේ මේ හමුදාව පිටින් දාන්නේ නැත්නම් මේ සිංහල නායකයෝ ගේන්න කරන කුමන්ත්‍රණයක් කියලා කියන්නේ මේ ජෙනීවා වල හෙටන්ට පටන් ගන්න මානවිකයන් සැසිවාරයේ නිසා.
More news after this short break. Stay tuned.
ගොඩ මට පෙරලි කරන බලපුළුවන්කාරයා මහින්ද්‍රා යුවෝ ටීමෝ වෙතින්. වැඩම ගොඩයි ගොඩම තමයි ස්වරාජ් ට්‍රැක්ටර් ටීමෝ වෙතින්.
Welcome back. The Colombo Stock Exchange continued to gain today as a result of price gains in counters such as Hatton National Bank, Commercial Bank and John Keel's Holdings. Turnover was recorded at over 2.7 billion rupees. High net worth and institutional investor participation was noted in John Keel's Holdings, Central Finance Company and Aitken Spence. Mixed interest was observed in Capital Alliance, Commercial Bank and CIC Holdings, whilst retail interest was noted in Brown's Investments, SMB Leasing, non-voting and Agarapatana Plantations. Foreign participation in the market and market activity remained at subdued levels with foreigners closing as net sellers. The diversified financial sector was the top contributor to market turnover due to Central Finance Company and Capital Alliance, whilst the sector gained 1.33%. The capital goods sector was the second highest contributor to market turnover due to John Keel's Holdings, whilst the sector index increased by 0.98%. Commercial Bank and CIC Holdings were also included among the top turnover contributors. With that, let's have a look at how the rupee fared against other major currencies as the day progressed. Corporate news kicks off with some good news for some very worried folk as Sri Lankan Airlines successfully completed the facilitation of over 40 stranded Lankan citizens stranded in Dubai. Working with the overseas consulate, the first batch of citizens to be repatriated landed 2 weeks ago. This and more on our Corporate Affairs news segment in brief. Sri Lankan Airlines has facilitated the repatriation of over 40 Sri Lankan migrant workers stranded in Dubai without the means to purchase an air ticket to return home. The national carrier said in a statement that it worked closely with the Consulate General of Sri Lanka in Dubai to help those who were stranded to return home by giving them a safe and affordable passage. The stranded workers have been flown from Dubai to Colombo in groups, with the first group who arrived at the Bandaranaike International Airport via Sri Lankan Airlines on the 23rd of August. Shares of Agarapatana Plantations Limited commenced trading on the Colombo Stock Exchange yesterday, following a ceremonious bell-ringing ceremony to mark their debut on the CSE. Shares have been listed on the Dirisavi board of the CSE under the food, beverage and tobacco sector. The company's initial public offering for 83,70,111 ordinary voting shares was oversubscribed at an issue price of 9 rupees per share. The Sri Lanka-Singapore Business Council of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce led a multi-sectoral 19-member delegation to Singapore, showing Sri Lanka's tech talent and growth potential. A 3-day forum was organized in collaboration with the Singapore Business Federation and Enterprise Singapore, supported by the Sri Lankan High Commission in Singapore, in an effort to continue fostering trade relations between Sri Lankan corporations and their Singaporean counterparts. A memorandum of understanding was inked between the Sri Lanka-Singapore Business Association and the Sri Lanka-Singapore Business Council, formalizing a commitment to enhance business ties. an 11-member high-profile Australian trade delegation began deliberations in Sri Lanka yesterday for opportunities in trade and investment, especially in the food, textile and IT sectors. In line with the visit, the Sri Lanka and Australia Chambers of Commerce unveiled an initiative to strengthen bilateral trade ties on the theme A Journey of Exploration, in close partnership with the Victoria State Government, alongside the Export Development Board, National Chamber of Commerce, Slascom, Port City, Hatch and Orion City. In other news, Sri Lanka's Minister of Plantation Industries Ramesh Patirana said that it is vital to take actions to protect the rubber industry in the country, as the industry has evolved into becoming a major contributor of agriculture-based products for the country's economy. The minister said that the industry is producing more than 75,000 metric tons per year, and in the year 2023 it is expected to earn close to $900 million to $1 billion from rubber and rubber-related exports.
Rubber is something vital for the Sri Lankan economy over a long period of time, and we've been growing this for more than a century in this country. Even last year we managed to get $1 billion income from rubber exports, something very significant to the country given the backdrop of 13.1 billion total export income. So the importance of plantation sector, tea, rubber and coconut still remains at a very significant level. But that is not sufficient for the Sri Lankan manufacturing industry. We are producing nearly 75,000 metric tons of rubber every year, and we have to import additional quantities nearing up to 40,000 metric tons per annum, because we have a developing rubber industry in Sri Lanka. I must thank all the growers of the country. Because of their effort, Sri Lanka has become the global destination, a famous destination for the rigid tie manufacturing. During the time that COVID pandemic enveloped the whole world, Sri Lankan entrepreneurs, industrialists did their bit to salvage. They were resilient. So even at that time, glove manufacturing and the rubber manufacturing did not go down. They come down, slowed down in 2023, partly because of the global recession that's taking place. But hopefully, even in this year, we might get something like $900 million to $1 billion income from the rubber-related industries. So Sri Lankan economy, again, heavily dependent on these cultivations. So that's why we are duty-bound to ensure that we find permanent and strong solutions in relation to this pod disease.
Welcome back. Heavy rainfalls continued in several parts of the country today, while some other parts of the island have reportedly been affected from extremely dry weather. Meanwhile, the meteorological department announced that the sun is due to be directly overhead several areas such as Maggona, Buddheriliye, Godakavala, Kitulkota and Mi Gahaverali tomorrow. That's a tongue twister. Furthermore, speaking at the Cabinet meeting today, the Cabinet spokesperson Bandula Gunawardena highlighted that the existing limited water levels of the island should be utilised optimally, and the issue needs to be addressed under an integrated approach, considering the need for water management as an emergency situation. Several areas of the island continue to experience heavy rainfall today. As a result of the sluice gate of the Kukuleganga reservoir being opened yesterday due to the heavy downpour, water was released into the Kudaganga this morning. As a result, many lowlands in Bulat Sinhala were inundated due to the overflowing Kudaganga. Owing to the floods on the Bulat Sinhala Molkava Road and the Ambagas Junction and the Nalanda area, traffic in the area was disrupted. Meanwhile, the Labugama and Karapiti areas in the Gaul district experienced heavy rainfall with strong gusty winds earlier this morning. Under the prevailing conditions, it was further reported that over 6,000 people in the country have been currently affected due to the continuous heavy downpour. However, the irrigation department states that water should be used sparingly as rains continue to be minimal in the water catchment areas. Moreover, it was further noted that parts of the island continue to experience rain today, while several other parts of the country suffered from extreme drought conditions. Further, the Ministry of Agriculture reported that fields destroyed due to the heavy rainfall have increased to 60,930 acres, while 62,930 farmers have reportedly been affected owing to the prevailing weather condition. The Ministry of Agriculture further estimates that the total amount of fields cultivated this year is 503,000 hectares, and according to reports, nearly 70,000 acres have been damaged by the drought. Concurrently, a Level 3 Red Alert warning issued for the landslide risks in the Ahaliagoda Divisional Secretariat Division of the Ratnapura District has been further extended owing to the current weather condition. An amber landslide early warning has also been issued for several areas in the districts of Kalutara, Kegalle and Ratnapura. The Department of Meteorology forecasted showers and thunder showers to occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Matara districts. A few showers are likely in the Mannar district. Fairly strong winds of about 40 to 45 km per hour are expected at times on the western slopes of the Central Hills, northwestern, northern and north-central provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. As such, Maggona, Badureliya, Godakavela, Kitulkota and Meegahaveriliya will experience direct sunlight tomorrow. That's all the news I have for you. This is Jonathan Benedict for now, wishing you a blessed Wednesday ahead. Good night.